West Michigan's largest school system may be asking taxpayers to pay more to renovate the district's high schools. 24-hour News 8's Tony Tagliavia is live at Grand Rapids Creston High School, breaking down how it would impact your taxes and why school leaders say it's worth it. Tony?
Good evening, Brian. It was a couple of years ago when leaders with Grand Rapids Public Schools were looking at asking voters to upgrade high schools, including Creston. But when the economy took a hit, they delayed those plans. Now, voters in Grand Rapids could see the question on their ballot in May, August, or November.
And it's really important for our students to be in 21st century buildings. We're talking about raising 21st century learners.
But Grand Rapids School Board President Sunita Lanier says some of the current buildings targeted for an upgrade are not equipped to handle 21st century technology. The board is looking at three plans. First, a $212 million plan. That one includes major renovations for all Grand Rapids public high schools. Second, a $165 million plan. It includes major renovations to Creston, Ottawa Hills, and Union High Schools, plus minor renovations to City High Middle School and minor improvements at the Central High campus. And third, there's a $40 million plan that focuses on maintenance rather than renovation. All the plans include replacing Congress Elementary, one of the district's oldest schools. Lanier says she sees the middle plan gaining momentum. Taxpayers approved a bond for just about the same amount of money in 2004 to rebuild or renovate elementary and middle schools.
They also saw us handle those dollars very well.
The projects ended under budget, and the district had money left over to replace the old Hall Elementary with the new Chavez Elementary. If the board picks the middle option, the district estimates the owner of a home worth $100,000 would pay an extra $91 or so a year for 25 years. 24-hour News 8 found that for 2010, GRPS had the lowest capital and debt millage rate of the districts that surround it. But we asked, what do you say to someone who says, I just don't have any more money to give?
We know that this economy isn't the best right now. We have postponed this bond. We've been talking about phase 2 since 2004. And it's time for us to take a look to see what can we do for our children. When we look at neighboring districts, and not even outside of Grand Rapids, we can go to some of the parochial schools and see that the buildings that their students are in are definitely the buildings that they deserve, and our students deserve the same.
Grand Rapids School Board members could vote on this as soon as a couple of weeks from now. If they opt for an August or November ballot question, they would have more time. The group Kent County Families for Fiscal Responsibility has opposed some recent tax increases. A representative of the group says there aren't enough details yet on this to make a decision, but he says the group generally opposes putting questions before voters in what the group sees as low turnout elections, such as May. We'll watch what the school board does. Live at Creston High School on the northeast side of Grand Rapids, Tony Tagliavia, 24-hour News 8.